Hi everyone. So this is going to be kind of a chopped up video because I have other videos that I've already made in the past that kind of fit with what I want you guys to get across this week. So I'm going to chop those videos up and put them back together for you guys. All right. So, but what I want to get across to you is in your writing, I want you to start citing your sources. And what does that mean? Citing your sources basically tells the reader where you got your information. Okay, which means that citing your sources actually is a safeguard against someone saying that you plagiarize. Sometimes high schoolers plagiarize by accident. It's not that you're up to something nefarious and awful. No, you're not like legitimately going out and trying to steal somebody's intellectual property. It's just you don't know how to cite or how to get across your information. And so this is the time now to start learning how to cite so that when you get into college, no one can accuse you of plagiarizing. So citing is basically telling the reader where you found your information. It's as simple as that. I mean, that's all it is, and it's a safeguard for you. And it's also more information for the person that maybe is reading your paper and wants to learn more. And that's a good thing. So it is a pain. I'm going to admit it is a pain. But it's something you have to learn to do. And so it's something you will get used to. And as you get used to it, it'll become less like a pain. Now understand, I don't expect you to like memorize how to cite sources and how to create a works cited list just from watching this video. It's not going to come like that, okay? It's going to come from continual usage. So what I'm going to do is create a citation references or an MLA references folder at the top of each of your weekly folders. There'll be one for that so that each time you write a paper you can refer to it, and there's going to be quick guides in there, and there's going to be different websites to help you out, and including this video because there's a lot of information in this video. So always refer to that whenever you're writing a paper. Now what I want to see whenever you are posting about literature, I want you to start citing your sources. I want you to start using a quote from your story that you're reading, citing it in the correct way, which means telling people where you found it, and creating a little works cited list at the bottom of each post. So the little works cited list, it will probably only have the information for that one story, but that's okay because that gets you used to creating one for everything that you write. So from here on out, for literature-based essays, for literature-based discussion boards, you are going to choose a quote from the story to stake your claim on the point you're trying to make. So that's going to be your evidence on the point that you're making. After you use that quote, you have to use in-text citations and create a works cited list. In-text citations are just basic. They're so simple. It's just the author name and the page number in parentheses. So easy. So that's the easy part. So I am going to post that file now, and let's get on with the video. There are many different ways and styles of citing information, and even different corporations have their own style of citing information. But for this class, we are using MLA, which is the Modern Language Association. There is also APA, which is the American Psychological Association, and there's the Chicago Manual. I'm seeing a lot of kind of Chicago-style reminiscent citations in your papers. You do not need to use the Chicago. In fact, I'd prefer that you don't. The Chicago Manual, like I've read it and I actually have it in my office at work. It's like this thick and it's chunky and clunky. And I think that unless you are going to become a professional writer or go on for your PhD, you don't need to worry yourself with that at this point. I used to be a tutor for a large university, a writing tutor, and Chicago Manual never came up in assignments. So I really would put Chicago Manual in the back of your mind, and I'll explain the difference. Maybe you don't even know you're doing Chicago Manual, and that's, you know. But so APA is American Psychological Association, and that is what you would use if you were writing scientific, mathematic, sociological type papers. That's what you would use. The differences are they use a title page. Also, there's an abstract. An abstract is basically a paragraph stating what your paper is going to be. You don't need to do all that. We're doing MLA, which is the Modern Language Association, which is what you will be using in college in your composition and English classes, or if you do any humanities such as history, philosophy, things like that, would use MLA. And actually MLA is pretty simple, and I think that once you get, I know you all are used to doing citations a different way, but once you get used to the MLA style, you're going to realize this is so much easier, and you're going to thank me. So this is what a bibliography looks like with the MLA style. Let me post a picture. And this is what an in-text citation looks like with MLA style. Okay, so the in-text citation has the last name of the author and the page number, no comma or anything like that. Okay, now this changes. This is the 8th edition. This is the 8th edition, so it changes often. So you do need to just kind of make sure which version your professors are assigning you. It could be 7, it could be 6, but 8 is the most recent. There will probably be a 9 soon, so just keep up on that. And this is how I want you to cite things, okay? Now, I will possibly give you a chance to play around with some APA at some point. I may assign some sort of small research paper where you can try out APA just so that it's in your pocket for when you get to college and you take a science course. You have seen it before and it's not confusing to you. But these are the two that we will use in the class, but primarily we will use MLA. So please, I'm going to post some websites, and maybe I'm going to try and find some kind of documents that can help you. Please always refer to those. It's really important because at some point I'm going to have to start taking off points if your citations are not in the prescribed way that I am assigning them. Okay, so it's hard to get used to, and honestly, a lot of college students have problems formatting in the correct style that their professor wants. You always have to, if the professor does not state what style they're using, always ask. Okay, very good. Now, the second thing that I want to talk to you about is every academic paper should be written in third-person point of view. Okay, so what does that mean? What is point of view? And this is something we're going to get to with literature soon. Point of view is the vantage point of the writer. Okay, so if you are writing in first-person point of view, you would be using a lot of I's, me's. You would refer to yourself. If you were using second-person point of view, you would be talking to the reader. So, I need you to do this. So often the way I write in my assignments, you will need to write this paper. That is second-person point of view. Okay, next is third-person point of view, and all of your academic papers should be in third-person point of view with a small exception, which I will talk about. Third-person point of view is you're on the outside looking in. Okay, so let's look at what it would look like. So first person point of view, I should learn to write well. Okay, second person point of view, you should learn to write well. Okay, now here's the difference. With third person point of view, college students should learn to write well. Okay, do you see the difference? There's a lot of confusion sometimes, especially if you're writing your opinion. You want to say me, us, we. You want to say that. Don't say that. You need to place it in third person point of view. So how do you do that when you're stating your opinion? Write your opinion as a fact. Okay? Switch your thinking that this is my opinion and write it as if it is truth and it is fact. Because especially in your thesis statement, you are going to be backing up that thesis statement within your paper, proving it. Okay, so third person point of view is always the best way to go for academic papers. And here's my exception, every once in a while, first person can come in if it is a personal anecdote and a personal experience that adds to your thesis statement. You can use that, but use it sparingly. But I'm going to add to that It is really hard for readers if you flip back and forth between third person and first person. So I would really try to avoid doing that. So yeah, if you need help doing any of that, please contact me. Or if you want me to read it before the paper's due and say, hey, did I do this third person point of view thing correctly? I am open and willing to reading it again. In fact, I would love that. So yeah. Okay. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to point out to you before I go, especially if it's an error that is made often, I will just use a timer. Okay, thanks. Yeah, you guys have been doing a really great job, and I'm so proud of you. Thanks.